guys, MacLeod123 here, this time doing another LEGO Ninjago 2016 set review. This time, as you can see, it is on Tiger Widow Island. This includes Sensei Wu, Nia, Ghost Cole, Sqiffy and Dogshank, which is the big fig. This is set 70604, as you can see there. And then on the back of the box, as you can see, it includes Gym Blade number 6, which is of course the one trapping Lloyd. And we've got all the features of the set. So now let's go ahead, open it up, build it and take a look. Starting off with the minifigures first of all, and as you can see from left to right we have got Ghost Cole, then Nia, then Sensei Wu, then Sqiffy, and then of course Dogshank. So now let's take a look at each one individually. By taking a look at Cole here, as you can see he is in his new Ejitsu robe, and he also does come with this Gym Blade, which is of course got Lloyd inside of it. And there you can see the printed Lloyd face on there, and of course the green blade. But here you can see Cole himself, really nice torso detailing. And then you can't really see much of his back detailing, but until we take all of the gear off, see his front face detailing. And then because he is now a ghost, he does get a second face, which just looks pretty cool. And then there you can see his back detailing, which of course gets covered up by this new kind of shoulder armor, which is a really cool piece. But anyway, that's Ghost Cole, and now moving on to Nia. As you can see, really nice torso and leg detailing there. And she does come with a vial of Tiger Widow venom. And then you can see she's got the golden katana there, and another one in the back there. But now let's take a look at her without all of the gear on. Without all of her gear. And as you can see, she does have the same face that she had in the summer wave of 2015. And then there you can see her back detailing, and of course no double-sided face. So that is it for Nia. And now moving on to Sensei Wu. As you can see, he does have the same leg detailing and torso as the 2015 version. But he does wear these kind of pilot goggles, because he does pilot the hot air balloon. As you can see, he's got some binoculars and a coconut there, and then there you can see his back detailing. But anyway, that's pretty much it. And now for a look without gear. All of his torso detailing and face detailing, and he does also come with his Sensei Wu hat, so he doesn't always have to be wearing those pilot goggles. And then no double-sided face, of course. So yeah, that's it for Sensei Wu. Now moving on to the Sky Pilot. Here is Sqiffy, and as you can see, he's got some really nice torso and leg detailing there, and he does come with 2 of these guns there. And then he's got the same face as some of the pirates from last year's Pirates theme. And then there you can see his back detailing and no double-sided face. So that's basically it for Sqiffy. Now moving on to Dogshank. As you can see, of course, she is a big fig. And there you can see all of the detail on the main body piece there, including up at her head. And she does come armed with this anchor, which is pretty cool. And it is connected to a chain, so she can swing that around and do some damage. And then she has just got regular big fig arms and hands. And then on the back, we have got these 2 skybound flags, which can just attach in on the back on these 2 little holes there, like so. And yeah, she's a pretty cool big fig, and that's pretty much it for her. So now moving on to the actual set itself. Things off with Sqiffy's little kind of pirate glider. As you can see, we've got 2 skybound flag stickers on there. And the wings can move on this, like so. And then there you can see there is space for Sqiffy. So if you just take his head off, and then put that on there, like so. Put his head on, you can have him on. And then the guns are actually kind of meant to be part of this, and kind of act like handles. Because as you can see, you can put them like that, and it kind of looks like they're connected to the wings. And it does use some of those new kind of cutlass pieces with the faces in there. And then there is no jet on this, but it is still a pretty cool little glider. So yeah, that's it for the glider. Now moving on to the actual island itself. And as you can see, this is actually a pretty cool design. And then you can see we've got the actual tiger widow spider down here. And so taking a close look at that, you can see it's got the orange and black stripes. And then the stinger is a really nice design, because it is just a minifigure head with this kind of bit added on at the bottom. And then in a samurai helmet, and then obviously it clips onto the body with the clip. And then there you can see the kind of head. And then it has got 6 legs, but it doesn't really matter. And you can actually put this on top of the tree, which is pretty cool. And then the head can move up and down. And then also we've got Sensei Wu's hot air balloon here. And you can see it's got this propeller on the back, and that is on a ball joint, so that can move. And then you can see that you do use some of the new lightsaber hilts for the ultra builds in there. And then the actual balloon is just made from some regular system pieces. Now putting Sensei Wu in is actually kind of hard, because there aren't any studs to stick him on, so you just kind of have to place him in there, and then he can float off. And then as you can see, I've got these green pieces on the bottom. But yeah, it is still a pretty cool little design, and it is nice that they included that. So onto the actual island itself, and as you can see down here, there is a lot of water on the bottom of this. And this bit here is on some mixel joints, and that can go up to the bridge, which you can, because it is attached on mixel joints, you can have that being kind of a wobbly bridge if you kind of connect that bit down on some studs there, and then also the other bit down on studs, like so. So you can kind of shake the bridge about so that when the ninja are trying to come up here, they can get knocked off. So that is pretty cool, and then you can see how the bridge is designed. And then as for the actual rocks of the island, I can just get this off without breaking it. You can see they do use one of the Power Miners drill pieces, and that doesn't turn, but that is a really nice design on how they've used that to make a rock. Then on the back, you can see we've got quite a lot of spikes on this. And then in the back of the actual main part of the island, you can see we've got some crystals here, and this bit's attached to a chain, and when you pull that down, something else happens at the front, and also when you push it up, but there'll be more on that later. You can see we've got more water down there. And then up here, you can see we've kind of got the gym blade process and how that works. And then this little kind of table with a pirate kind of hat on there. And then a map of Ninjago. And then this little light which can shake about. And then we have got this vine which you can attach people to. So you can put coal on here and you can kind of escape from the island on that. And that attaches up here. And then the front of this is a little coconut disposal area, so you can drop coconuts from it. And then on the front, you can see we've got this one window here and some kind of signs. And then to drop the coconut, all you have to do is pull this bit out, and then it's just the same coconut. And there are actually 4 coconuts in this set, so you can get the one from Wu, put it behind there, and then when you do that, you can drop 2 coconuts at the same time, so you can attack 2 people at once. And that is a pretty cool feature, and then that just goes back in there like so. And then you can see we've got these leaves on here, which are also on mixel joints to give them more articulation. And then this face, this head, is a really nice build with some great pieces for rocks. And then they used kind of those Wolverine claws as eyes, and also the Chima wings recolored in gold. And then more leaves on here, and you've got some rock pieces, more spikes coming out. And this bottom here can open up, and then of course when you open the head up, and this is kind of where you're meant to put the gym blade for Lloyd, so they can kind of rescue that and stop the sky pirates keeping it. And then when you pull this chain down on the back, when you do that, what happens is, as you can see, this head on the front gets lifted up and down, so you can let the spiders out. And as you see, when you push it up and down, it goes up and down, which is pretty cool. And then this entrance into the actual island. And then over here we've got kind of this bridge, and then this is kind of where you're meant to put Dogshank. So you can just put her kind of guarding the bridge. And there is a really nice play feature on this on the back. So as you can see, we've got this tree here. They use this really nice bush piece on it. And then there are 2 more coconuts up there. And there's also this crab on there. And I'm guessing that's meant to kind of act as a small spider, because I'm not really sure why a crab would be on a tree. But in the back there is a little pin that you can pull out. And when you do that, the whole tree just falls down, and then you can just put the pin back in there, and then you can see the coconuts. And they do use a really nice piece on this tree. So as you can see, this is actually a lightsaber hilt to kind of give it a curved effect there, so that the leaves don't kind of bump into each other and they kind of curve upwards. And then that just sticks on the top of that piece there. And then there you can see the 2 coconuts there. So again, when you do pull this out, the whole tree falls down. So that's basically it for the Tiger Widow Island. So now onto the ratings for the set. Overall, I'm going to give this set a 10. And just a quick look at the instructions here. As you can see in the front, it's the same as the front of the box. On the back we've got a win with Lloyd there. And then piece card. And we've got an advertisement for the Lego Explode. And then you can see the main feature of the actual set. More of the features. Then we've got the Skybound poster. And then you can see a list of all the sets. I have reviewed the Misfortune's Keep, and the next one I'm reviewing is the Raid Zeppelin. Then we've got this other kind of Skybound advertisement. And then back to the piece count. But overall, this is definitely a pretty cool set. You do get some really good minifigures, and it is my second favourite of the new Skybound wave. My favourite is the Misfortune's Keep, but this is definitely a close second. You get some really good minifigures, and it is nice that we get Lloyd in the gym blade, and it is also a nice way to get Ghost Cole, which is the first time we're getting him, and a new robe veneer, and of course the first big fig for Ninjago. But yeah, that's pretty much it, so please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye!